What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Talk the Prospect, presented to you by Fourth and John. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and with me today is a very special guest, none other than Marshall's running back, Brenden Knox. Brenden, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us today, man. Now that's Brenden with two E's, right? It seems maybe even you have trouble sometimes.
Yes, sir.
It was a pleasure to do some deep diving on you, man. That was one of the things I found funny. Even in one of the articles, someone brought up, that it's two E's. But honestly, I think people are going to learn how to spell that name after this interview, and then getting to watch you play, man. I was pretty impressed. So, going to get into a few questions with you today, if that works for you.
Let's go.
All right, man. Let's hop right into it. Now, you had eligibility for your senior season, and also with COVID-19 going on, you could have had an additional season. What made you decide to skip your season and potentially an extra season to declare for the NFL draft?
Just my style of play. I feel like I was ready after last year's season, physically, but I feel like I needed that extra year kind of to bring it all together mentally. So after this season, I feel like they both kind of came together well, and I was ready to make that step.
And when the time's right, right? Now, with the NFL draft coming up and the combine, have you changed anything in your daily routine? And what are you doing to prepare for the upcoming NFL draft?
For me, as a for my style of play and kind of what I've noticed with myself, tight hips were like a big problem for me personally. So every day I've implemented that into my daily routine. Almost twice a day. Just working on smaller things like that lead to productivity in other areas of my game. So I'd say just the hips and just smaller things like that in terms of my daily routine.
Oh, I love it. Well, it's the small things. That's how you achieve greatness. So, I mean, that's great to hear. Now, what would your teammates and coaches say your best attribute is? And what do you think your best attribute is?
My toughness, I feel like that screams, once you turn on my tape, my toughness, attitude, and demeanor towards the game and passion.
I've seen it watching your tape. Honestly, we're going to get to some tape at the end here, but just going to throw one up here real quick for the people. Toughness is definitely something that stood out to me in your game, fighting for those extra yards, embracing contact. That's something, the Philadelphia Eagles, something we're lacking. We need somebody that's going to pound that rock. Love me some Miles Sanders, but hey, things happen. And, dude, I was pretty excited to see that toughness. So that's a great answer because I was hoping that's what you'd roll with. Now, what would your coaches or your teammates, you think that's something that they would probably harp on if asked?
No doubt. And I feel like everybody can respect, a player that comes with no baggage. So I feel like that's something that they probably appreciate, very well. I come with no baggage. I'm a student of the game, and I'm always itching to, find an extra niche to get better, in terms of my game.
Yeah, it seems like you're always searching for those small things, man. I love it. Now, speaking of coaches, teammates, who is the one person that you would say helped you the most in your football journey?
Pepe Pearson, in terms of, just day in and day out, just what I get from him, is second to none. He's treated me, and the rest of the running backs like, his own sons, and I appreciate him for everything he's done. Just the amount of gems that he's dropped on us throughout my tenure, I feel like, have been instrumental in my success at Marshall.
Fantastic. Now, you think with all the things you've learned from him and everybody else that's helped you along, do you see yourself as an every down back in the NFL? Not only running the ball well, but those little things you talk about: pass protection, catching the ball.
No doubt. Three down back is, what I see myself as, and I feel like everybody else does. I run, I block, I catch, I do all the things, that, will require me to be a three down back. So, yeah.
I think that's something we'll get into a little bit later when I get into the tape. But they one of the things I read was, he didn't really catch the ball that much. Well, the times I saw you catching the ball, I thought you did great. So if you're still working on those small things, that's what I love to hear. So with you working on all those things, who do you emulate your game? Which pro running back style would you compare your game to? And what similarities do you see between yourself and that player?
For anybody that knows me, they know that I study Ezekiel Elliott since high school. I mean, yeah, really high school, college, and really the Cowboys. I mean, I try to pick up as many aspects of his game that he implements as possible, from pass pro to getting those 30 yards to hitting the long run. When need be. Just kind of picking up tools from him and just trying to implement that to my whole game.
Uh, That's a great running back. As much as Eagles fans don't like the Cowboys, you can't deny how great Ezekiel Elliott is. So that's fantastic to hear. I'll be real with you. Now, you kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, talking about what you've been working on, but this is one of the questions I had. What, just for the people, what is the one area of your game that you feel you could improve on the most?
If I had to pick, I'd say just route running outside of the basic, run back route tree.
Okay. Now, as a running back, that's okay. That's something I thought, hearing what people said and seeing what I saw from you, that's something that'll come in time, and I think you've done pretty well so far. So that's pretty good if that's one of your worst things. Now, who was your toughest defender when you were in college, Brennan?
If I had to pick, I'd probably say I liked what Gene Charles from App State did a lot. The All American cornerback, and I'm forgetting his name, but the cornerback from UCF. My only fumble that came, in my whole career from him. I can't even remember his name, but I liked him a lot as well.
Aaron Robinson, maybe?
I think so.
Well, hey, those are some good names to toss out there. I believe he's in that picture. We've had an interview with him here at Talk to Prospect. Also, I believe a member of Agency One Sports. So that's fantastic. Now, speaking of college rivalries and everything, what was your favorite game? Because man, I had a few when watching your tape. But what would you say your favorite game of your football career is thus far?
I had a lot of fun actually in the 75 game of 2019. We played La Tech when they came to us, a night game. I had a lot of fun during that game. It was just really, just a fun atmosphere. With that, FAU, yeah, really a lot of them, but those two probably stick out more than any others.
That was a fun game to watch. I'll be honest with you. I got to enjoy a lot of the games. You guys had some close ones, some fun ones, even ones where you're game running touchdowns we'll get into. It was exciting to watch. Now, speaking of competition, when you do make it to the NFL, which defender do you look forward to going up against and why?
Um, I really can't pick one out, but yeah, I really can't pick one out to be honest with you. I'm just excited to be on that stage.
Yeah, I imagine. I don't know if there's necessarily anyone I would be looking forward to getting hit by in the NFL, but I'll be looking forward to you breaking some tackles with some of those guys. Now, before we get back into, we'll go into some football. I'm going to play a little bit of tape. I just wanted to ask just a couple personal questions. Get to know you a little bit here. So on game day, when you're getting in to your zone, what is your go-to song or artist on game day?
I like that "Put On" by Jeezy a lot.
Yeah, that's probably the go-to song you go with. All right, not bad, not
Got
bad.
to, got to.
Love it. Now, Brendan, what is the one thing that most people don't know about you that right now you would want them to know while giving this stage?
You see the tough guy on the field, but off the field, you don't really see the nerd that I can kind of be. I'm a huge, Marvel fan. I'm real big in the, Marvel movies, DC, a little bit of the comics. So, I mean, that's something a lot of people wouldn't really know.
I love it. Last week, I actually got to sit down with another prospect, and he was talking about anime, and we got into Marvel, DC, and that's something we could definitely relate to. Are you watching any of the new WandaVision?
I have not caught that yet. I started the first episode, but didn't get around to finishing it. I'm hoping this weekend.
It's interesting. It seems like it's slow, but I would definitely recommend getting into it. I love the Marvel stuff myself, so that's a nice little tidbit to know. Now you talk about coming with no baggage. I wanted to get to know you a little more personally. Checking out your Twitter, I saw a couple of the tweets you made. Great quote here. If you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you dream it, you can become it. Then another one that stuck out to me. I saw a lot about your faith. God calls us to an abundance mindset to see all we have, while evil tries to get us to focus on what we lack. What do those quotes mean to you? Are one of those your favorite quotes? What's maybe your favorite quote you'd like to live by? Because things like that are always very inspirational and get me going.
Probably the one that you posted. I mean, if you can imagine it, you can become it. And that's kind of been, what I've lived by. You can really talk about a lot of stuff, but if you're not really backing it up with, hard work, I mean, they're really just words at the end of the day. And, over the years, I've kind of become real big on the words of affirmations, kind of speaking things into existence and backing that up with, hard work. Because, like I said, you can't really just speak on something without backing it up with anything. So that's what I've been really big on.
That's the truth, Brenden. I love it, man. Affirmations are something I always try to have in my life too. Speak it into existence. It seems like you definitely have strong faith. I saw when reading about you declaring for the NFL draft. You spoke with your family. You said you prayed about it. What is your faith, and what does that mean to you? And how much does it mean to you going to the NFL? With God leading the way, man. I mean, it's a pretty fantastic journey you're on so far.
I come from a pretty religious background. My grandmother, my mother, everyone in my family, that's kind of what my upbringing's pretty much been about. And just this journey can kind of be a hard one. So, I mean, you got to have something to fall back on, for strength. So, if you just rely on your faith and, your prayer and stuff like that, and you back it up with your hard work, I feel like it'll take you a long way. So, those are just kind of things that I believe in.
Fantastic, man. And it looks like your hard work, your faith, it's all paying off, doing the little things. I found this clip and I wanted to play this for the people, but afterwards, I just wanted to gauge your feeling on it, what this moment meant, seeing something like this on TV. So I played this
It has
clip
always
here
been a dream of former Marshall running back Brenden Knox to one day
Let's
play
stop
in
for
the
a second.
NFL. His journey to one day playing on Sundays is now one step closer, as Knox will have plenty of eyes on him in the near future. Knox was invited to the NFL Combine, but it is not the Combine we're all used to seeing. The traditional Combine was canceled due to the pandemic. All workouts and pro days will now be done on college campuses across the country. Knox was the bell cow in the backfield for the Herd, rushing for 22 touchdowns. It has always been a dream of former...
All right, Brenden. I think it was... Oh, it's cutting him out there. Wait a second.
Yeah, we'll just wait till he comes back on.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if
I'll
you
just
can
pick
see
it right
that
back
clip,
up.
though. Okay.
Okay. I'll just explain to him.
Difficulties.
What's going on, Brenden?
How you doing? Technical
Hey,
difficulties.
yeah, it happens sometimes when you play videos. It was just a clip of one of the news people just saying you were being declared for the NFL draft. It's not going to be the same because of the combine. It's going to be more at your pro day. So I'm just going to pick right back up. I'm going to count down from 5, and then we'll just act like we watched the clip, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Sounds good, man. All right, Brennan. Now, after seeing that clip, what did it mean to you? Just finally getting those words of affirmation, right? You actually know that you were invited to the combine, regardless of not having a real combine. It'll be more pro day. What did that moment mean for you? Watching that with your loved ones, seeing that you're headed toward the NFL draft.
That meant a lot. That's something that you look, forward to, since you're a kid, watching people on TV. just kind of just living that, living in that moment. Although it's not going to be, a combine, like you said, still being able to get that recognition, that invitation, out of that selected few is, it still means a lot. And it just kind of shows, how far you've come. But, you still have more to do.
Definitely. And this is just, in your mind, obviously your first step in your NFL journey to a long one, hopefully. But, you did great things in college in 2019. You were the Conference USA Player of the Year, MVP, all first team. You've got some great stats. You have, I think, over half of your games. It was 7 out of 13 your first year. You had 100-yard games. You had a 200-yard game that season and 700-yard games out of 13 in your second season. Another 200-yard game. You had multiple 2-touchdown games. Then last year you had 3 touchdowns, and I believe it was against Western Kentucky, and it was the first half that I was watching that game. Man, I just wanted to get a little bit into some of these clips and get these people, to know a little bit more about what I got to see from you, because, you could read stats and you can look at all that stuff, but I think the one stat that I think, a lot of people put some stock, some put a lot, is you had 577 touches. Okay, that's 550 rushes, 27 pass catches, and you fumbled the ball 1 time. And that was after 371 touches, I believe, and it was in the rain. So what does ball control mean to you, Brenden? And do you hold that thing like a baby late at night? Because 1 fumble, man.
No, that's definitely, I hold pretty dear. It comes back to that, like that trust aspect, with the coaches and stuff like that, and with your team. If they don't trust you in blocking, they don't trust you with the ball, you're not going to see the field. So, I held that pretty dearly to me, and, that shows for it.
Yeah, and it shows they trust you with the ball. We talk about situations, you actually had a game-sealing touchdown against Florida Atlantic, and this kind of shows, your elusiveness for a second there, but it shows your power as you just break tackles. I want to play this clip here, and what was going on with this play? Are you telling Coach, give me the ball, 3rd and 2, game on the line? What's going through your head during this play?
Honestly, it's just like seeing blood in the water. I just knew we needed this to kind of put the game away. It was a high stakes game, and adrenaline took over, and everything else is history after that.
Yeah, what? It was like 36-31, I believe was the score. 3rd and 2. They put the ball in your hands, and you can see it. Look at that. You embrace contact. That's something that really stood out to me. You're not just tough, but it looks like you want to get hit. We played this clip in the beginning. What are there, like 5, 6 guys carrying you here, Brenden? That's straight power, man. I had to play this clip again because look at you. Look at those legs churning, man. Just keep churning. That's what NFL teams want to see, Brenden. And I love to see that. Now, something else that you have in your repertoire I'd like you to talk about. What is this stiff arm you're giving to people on this play? You're going after this dude. You're eyeing him up. And I'm watching you. I'm like, this dude straight, because he's either going to hit you out of bounds and the play's over, or you can go smash him and you can get that touchdown. Dude, what's going on with this stiff arm, man? Wow. You just broke the man's neck, Brenden. Did you have to pay any hospital fees after that?
No, sir. It just comes with that mentality, just finishing runs and, just getting the most out of your runs. And, that shows right there.
Well, I think, you saw a little bit also of your elusiveness and your vision in that play at the beginning. This one also, to me, is showing, one of the things I love is you can go in between the tackles, but you can also bounce it outside on the edge. And then right there, you always seem to find that crease no matter what. Look at you right here. You see that? Boom. That's your jump cut, man. You have a pretty damn good jump cut. I'm going to be real with you. So how much is footwork and vision? How much do you practice that? Because it seems to me that you have it pretty well down.
So much. I feel like it can kind of have you stand out, in certain groups, if yours is kind of more on par. So, anything to kind of get the edge. I'm looking to kind of just fine tune that. So always looking to get the edge in that aspect and just show off your feet work because it is showing off at that point.
Yeah, and you're definitely showing off. If you watch the tape, you got great footwork. Now, one of the things we talked about that you wanted to improve on, maybe some knocks on you, but like I said, no pun intended, but the pass catching, that was something from the plays I did see you catching the ball. This one I'm going to play here. Low thrown ball, you still grab it, and then you make a play. Once again, showing the power at the end here. But I think, you talk about adding those little things to your game. I think this is something you could probably get pretty good at, don't you think?
Yeah, no doubt.
And at the end there, you see, once again, I want to play it one more time, guys. Watch at the end how he embraces the contact. He's going for the defender because he sees the defender coming at him. Watch him make the decision. He's hitting that defender. Bam. Oh, Brenden, great run. Love to see after the catch. And then one more, just kind of showing this elusiveness out of the backfield. You had some great line play at times. Now, this one, you have guys in the backfield. This should be a loss of downs. Instead, you got 3 missed tackles. And once again, you're looking for contact again. You see, look at that. Boom, 2 guys miss, 3 guys miss, and you're off. And now right here, you're looking for that contact again. You just hammered that. Look at him. He's not even getting up yet. Toughness. I think, that's the perfect answer you gave me at the beginning. You got nothing but toughness, the footwork, the vision. I see a lot of great things for you, Brenden, and it was exciting to have you on today. Now, before we get heading out, is there anything else you'd like anybody to know about you before we get heading out?
Yeah, no, I mean, what you see is what you get. I mean, yeah, I feel like the hard work never goes unnoticed. So you just keep putting that in. You keep putting that in, and everything else just takes care of itself from there on out.
So for any scouts or NFL teams watching, this guy's a hard worker. He does the little things, no baggage, and you just love the spirit. And look, man, you're a humble guy. I truly had nothing but fun talking to you today. So I look forward to seeing where your future lies. But you think by any chance, if you go from Kelly Green to Midnight Green, that we might get you back on the show?
We'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, I had a great time with you today, Brenden. Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone watching. This was Talk the Prospect with 4th and John and running back from Marshall, Brenden Knox.
Appreciate you having me.